I fight this fucking guy. He's a fucking monster,
but I respect
bro.
it though because
I'm just gonna fucking die, bro.
I can't. This is the first time. Oh, hold on. This is the first time I ever heard you say any of this.
I know my boundary.
Jake Paul is starting to feel the pressure as Anthony Joshua turns up the intensity in training. The YouTuber turned boxer has been watching AJ's explosive power and relentless workouts, and it's hard to ignore the nerves creeping in. Talk of a possible fight between the two has gone from quiet whispers to serious speculation.
Jake Paul's manager here last week, and he's open to the fight. Any developments on that?
Lots. I mean, you know, this bizarre world that we live in, I think Jake Paul is absolutely the front runner to fight Anthony Joshua next. I'm here in New York for meetings about that fight. There's an open dialogue between myself and Nikisa, an MVP. I don't know what to tell you, Bridgie, other than it's mental. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you this is a 50-50 matchup. The whole thing is bizarre. I think it's extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. You know, I've got the general feedback is the boxing world saying, please, AJ, go in and evaporate this young man from the boxing world so we can all get on as normal. You've got Jake Paul fans thinking bizarrely they can beat Anthony Joshua. And the most bizarre thing out of everything is that Jake Paul genuinely believes he will beat Anthony Joshua.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has labeled Paul a major frontrunner for this matchup and revealed that talks are already in motion. Both camps are targeting early 2026 for the fight. Joshua, a proven heavyweight champion, is pushing himself through brutal strength and conditioning, high-level sparring, and mental preparation to stay sharp and dangerous.
Where's AJ for you right now?
I think he's an icon.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever met AJ, I would be starstruck. I remember being in New York City, my cousin's stag do, which would have been 2017, and he beat Klitschko.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, the bar erupted. It was amazing. Right, that was peak
AJ.
History will be kind to AJ, I think, in terms of where he ranks.
History will be kind if he doesn't lose a couple more big ones. Because I know everyone's just got microwave memories where they just remember now.
Like, he's nowhere near to say Lennox Lewis, is he?
No.
But in terms of what he carried, nobody can sell an arena.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's
like, he's up there with like stars of other, like, sports. He can be compared to Oasis for selling tickets.
Yeah, he'll fill a stadium.
Yeah, like
there was a time when I thought he could fight me and fill a stadium.
This
like,
is what I was
literally
just about to say, that irrespective of the opposition.
Doesn't matter.
Like, irrespective. And he will never, nobody, I don't know, Daniel Dubois will never ever have that presence that AJ has.
Joshua's resume is filled with top names, including his 2 fights against Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion. Their first clash in 2021 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium ended with Usyk outboxing Joshua in a unanimous decision, using superior skill and precision to take the win.
Once the belts were finally out of my possession, which I was expecting to win, it just kind of tore me apart. And that's raw emotion live on your screen. Obviously, looking back, could I have dealt with things better? Yeah, of course. But at the time, that wasn't the priority. It was just outpour of emotion.
There are so many athletes we're seeing across gymnastics, cricket, rugby and football that have taken time out of their sport to deal with their mental health before coming back in. Did you at any point in that period think, I need to take an extended break away from boxing before coming back in?
It wasn't the fact I needed to take a break. You know what it was? I actually watched a lot of like fighters, they've taken time out of the game for those reasons as well. And I think, okay, if they've done it, I should be doing it. But I got to look at myself as an individual. And what it is, I feel like if I take time out, I'm letting everyone catch up. And I want to be ahead of the game.
Paul has shown solid athletic ability and dedication, but his time in the ring doesn't compare to fighters at Joshua's level. His training mainly focuses on building stamina and sharpening basic techniques, while Joshua's experience is built from years at the top of the sport.
Do you consider Jake Paul a fighter?
No.
Still not?
Wow, really? We also like punch each other and like elbow, like he was on the ground and I was like kneeing him in the face. Like.
So you get fighting your sibling to a whole nother level.
Training wrestling is so hard.
Yeah.
Dana has always been close to my family because of my dad. Then he's like texting Daniel Cormier and like, hey, like Bellamere needs to go to college, where should you go? I was literally cage side sitting next to Dana. The arena, like I literally like get goosebumps sometimes like thinking of it. I've never heard an arena so loud Like my last fight, I broke the girl's arm in the first round, like minute something. Complete snapped, like ripped every ligament in her elbow.
I want professional boxers. It's only been 3.5 years. You can only make a certain amount of fights happen. And the plan was always to fight Nate Diaz after Tommy Fury, win, lose, or draw. People think there's like this ducking of professional boxers. The next fight could potentially be a professional boxer. I'm just getting started. I'm 26 years old, and there's only so much I can do.
Experts have slammed the idea of Joshua facing Paul, calling it a dangerous mismatch. Eddie Hearn himself has warned that the skill gap and Joshua's knockout power could put Paul in serious danger. Joshua's background as an elite-level fighter makes him a threat few could handle, let alone someone with Paul's limited experience.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitates a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him, and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world, make the fight.
Let's talk about AJ ever so quickly. I watched Jake Paul the weekend. I feel a bit dirty saying that because I'm not a fan of his, but he did say after the fight that he's sort of having DMs or he's dropping text messages to AJ. They're having a chat about a potential fight. What's your view on that, Eddie?
Well, look, he's calling out Gervonta Davis, who is a 135-pound lightweight, and he's calling out Anthony Joshua, that's a heavyweight monster. I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul. Hopefully not literally, but it's that dangerous that, you know, it's a fight that I don't think should really happen, if I'm honest. I would say about Jake Paul, and I've said this in a couple of interviews today, I do think you start after giving him a margin of respect. You know, I think this guy is going through the motions, he's putting the hard spars in. He just went 10 rounds with, yes, a washed up fighter, but a former world champion that did train for that fight. But they're very clever in terms of the opponents that they pick. They're not going to gamble unless the money's out of control. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul, wanted to move forward with an Anthony Joshua fight. Honestly, AJ's coming tonight. He's not exactly looking at Jake Paul going, oh, that's my dream opponent. No. Would he go in there and give him a hiding for, you know, a massive chunk of money? Probably. I'd be saying, yeah, go on. I'd like to see it.
The buzz over a Joshua versus Paul fight has angered many boxing analysts. They argue the difference in power and skill makes the matchup irresponsible. While the money and attention would be huge, they say the health risks for Paul are too high, turning the whole idea into more of a stunt than a real sporting contest.
Well, I've got you, Billy. There's talks, obviously you're from a traditional side of boxing, there's talks of maybe an Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul matchup. What do you make of that?
Joke. It's just money in it. It's just for money. Because he'll get absolutely pulverised by Big Joshua. Pulverised.
Tony Bellew, never one to hold back, called the fight dangerously insane. He said the size and experience gap is far too wide and that the matchup would be more spectacle than sport. Bellew even suggested a much better challenge for Joshua would be facing Canelo Alvarez instead of entertaining the Paul idea.
This is another level. This is a really dangerous. He ain't fighting a granddad. He isn't fighting a grandfather. It's absolute lunacy. It's insane. It's dangerously insane. Is right. And I never thought I'd say that in my lifetime, but because he says some crazy shit. But he probably could knock him out with his bell end.
It's
just a gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's just...
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it, really?
It's insane. This boy is nuts. Is nuts. And I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life before money.
Yeah, it's
putting money before
crazy.
his life, which is just absolutely insane.
Bellew has long criticized Paul's celebrity-style approach to boxing, warning that it could end badly. He believes boxing isn't a game and that chasing attention can lead to serious injury. Bellew also says the growing trend of YouTubers and celebrities stepping into the ring risks damaging the sport's reputation.
Jake's not putting on no one because it would end immediately right there and then. The other claim to fame is slapping the shit out of your trainer. But I'm not going to be disrespected by anyone, especially a young child. I don't want no problems, but if you've got a problem, then no problem.
Joe Rogan has praised Joshua for his incredible physique and athleticism. On his podcast, he's compared Joshua's build to that of a superhero, noting the strength and conditioning that keep him in peak shape. Rogan says that dedication is a big reason behind Joshua's success.
Like boxers today, if you look at like Anthony Joshua, who's the heavyweight champion of the world now.
Is
you
he?
Look at him, yeah. He's a English fellow. He's a tank. I mean, he's a.
Is he?
Oh man, you look at Anthony Joshua. He looks like a superhero.
Do those guys have as much stamina as these guys do, though?
Oh yeah, they do
oh,
today.
They did?
Yeah, because the conditioning methods that they have today are just so superior. They understand rest and recovery, and they monitor your heart rate, and they're monitoring lactic acid buildup and.
Frank Smith, CEO of Matchroom Boxing, has stirred debate by claiming that Joshua versus Paul could actually outdraw Joshua versus Tyson Fury on a global scale. He admits it's an unusual matchup, but says the commercial pull is massive. Talks are still happening, and 2026 remains the target.
The fight with Jake Paul does feel a bit random, Frank, doesn't it? With everything else that's going on in the fight game, I know that he's had some. He's been upping his game, getting some better opponents, and he's got a world ranking and all that. But I don't know. It's. I mean, I think there's other fights out there for AJ, aren't there? Really, with that feel a better fit than Jake Paul at this moment in time.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree with you. It is random, but at the same time, it's the biggest fight out there. It's bigger. The reality is Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul on a global scale is bigger than Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. And that's the world we live in right now. But the Tyson Fury fight is also a huge fight.
Yeah.
This has split the boxing community. Some say the fight would damage the sport's credibility, while others can't deny it could grab worldwide attention.
It gets my goat. What is bigger, Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, or Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury? And for me, it's absolutely clear what's bigger. It's Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, I think, you might throw to some Frank Smith comments in a minute, but Matchroom's Frank Smith, but that fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute.